So imagine this. You walk out to your garden, it's the middle of winter, and you see it, a bright red, perfectly ripe strawberry. Your first thought? Probably confusion, right? Is something wrong with my plants? Well, today we're going to unpack that exact puzzle and explore what those winter strawberries really mean. So let's get right to it. Strawberries in January. Is that a problem or is it a promise? The answer is this really fascinating journey that goes in two directions. First, we're going to cover the practical science for all you gardeners out there. And then we're going to explore a much deeper, more profound meaning.
Okay, first up, the gardener's guide. Let's get right into the nuts and bolts, the practical science behind seeing fruit when you least expect it.
The answer is actually surprisingly simple, and it usually just boils down to three things. First off, the climate. If your temperatures are staying above, say 45 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit, strawberries are happy to keep on trucking. Second, you probably nailed the planting time. Getting them in the ground around November lets the roots get really well established early on. And third, and this is a big one, you probably have what's called an ever-bearing variety, which is just wired to make fruit whenever the conditions are right. So seeing fruit now, that's not a sign of stress, it's a sign of success.
Okay, so what should you do about it? You've basically got two options. Option A, which is what you'll do 99% of the time, is just let them fruit. If your plants look healthy and happy, go ahead and enjoy that little bonus harvest. It's not going to hurt your big spring production at all. Now, option B is to remove the flowers, but you'd really only think about doing this if the plants look super small or strained. Honestly, for most people, it's totally unnecessary.
Here's the absolute best way to frame it. Think of this as a preview, not the main harvest. This isn't the main event. This is the bonus feature, the little sneak peek of all the abundance that's on its way.
So, there you have it. The gardener's puzzle is solved. But what if there's more to the story? What if we pivot from the practical and start to explore the deeper meaning behind this surprising little fruit?
I mean, just pause for a second and think about it. What if this isn't a fluke at all? What if this unexpected gift, showing up when you least expect it, what if it's actually a message?
The source we're looking at today makes this really powerful claim, that the strawberry plant can teach us this profound lesson about provision. And not because it's mentioned in some ancient text, it isn't. It's because of its behavior, the way it grows, the way it gives. It's basically acting out what it means to be provided for.
And that lesson? It has 5 main parts. So let's look at these 5 lessons from the garden and see how this humble little fruit teaches some truly profound truths.
Okay, here are the 5 ways strawberries embody this idea of provision. They give early, before you even expect them. They give often, not all at once. They require you to get close. They teach humility. They root down and then they run, literally spreading that provision. And finally, they are fragile, but they are incredibly dependable. Each one of these is a whole talk in itself, but let's just zoom in on a couple that are really powerful.
Let's start with this idea that they give often, not all in one go. You know, an apple tree gives you one massive harvest and that's it for the year. But a strawberry plant, it offers you a berry today, another one tomorrow, and more the day after that. It's this steady, repeated offering.
Doesn't that rhythm just sound familiar? It's the exact same idea behind "Give us this day our daily bread." It's about getting what you need, when you need it, day in and day out.
And this completely reframes what it means to be provided for, right? Provision isn't always about having a giant surplus stored away in the pantry. Sometimes true provision is just that simple, repeated reliability.
All right, next up is this beautiful paradox. Strawberries are fragile, yet they are so dependable. I mean, a strawberry bruises if you just look at it wrong. It doesn't last long. It has no armor. And yet, that plant faithfully keeps producing them day after day.
And this teaches us something so important. Provision doesn't always look big and strong and mighty. It doesn't have to be a fortress. Sometimes, provision looks tender. It looks gentle, but it is faithful. It shows up.
And all of this, it leads to this final, powerful insight. It's like a whisper of reassurance that brings this whole idea together. You see, strawberries aren't staples like wheat or olives. You don't need them to survive. The source calls them kindness food. They're a bonus. They're a gift that doesn't just say you will survive, it says you will also have joy. And that's why they don't arrive with a trumpet blasts, announcing some great victory. No, instead, they whisper. They whisper reassurance. They're this quiet little sign that says, hey, everything's okay. You're on the right track.
And that brings us to the most powerful phrase of all. That little winter strawberry is confirmation fruit. So what does that mean? It means it's not the promise itself, right? It's not the giant spring harvest you're waiting for. But it is proof, it is tangible, sweet, you can taste it proof that the promise of that harvest is already underway. It's a sign that the work you've been doing is paying off, and that good things are already in motion long before you ever expected to see them.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. What confirmation fruit is growing in your life right now? What small, unexpected sign is whispering to you that the bigger promise you're waiting for is already on its way?